Well, so here's another project here. I happened to be going through one of the outbuildings and came across this old axe head, and it was pretty rusted up. I still have to still going to be doing the edge on the axe yet, and just do a total cleanup of, sanded it down, ground the edges down. Somebody had been abusing it quite often with a hammering metal with the back end, so just went ahead and cleaned that up. And so I'm going to go ahead and work on getting the rest of the rust out of the pits. And it doesn't look like there's any cracks or anything in the axe head. It's decent. It's probably about a 4-pound head, and no markings on the head that I could see. Not stamped anywhere, I don't believe. And so anyhow, I just have some rust removal to do yet, a little bit, and then treat it and get it back on the. Got a new axe handle from the big box store, and so right now basically I'm just going in and fitting the hand or the head back onto the handle. So you have to do, watched a few other videos on YouTube, and so you got to get the head on, and then you start looking for the wood will have a smooth finish. It'll smooth the wood down where the metal's coming in contact. You want to just keep getting that removed, and so that you can seat that head the whole way down to where the handle starts to flare out, where the head would actually stop. So you need to get it down to there, and it looks like I'll be having maybe about 3/4 of an inch on the back end. That'll be proud, and so I have to chop that off and then run my wedges into the end of it. But so I still have a little bit more yet to go. So now I'm just going in and taking the edge of my knife and just drawing it back and removing a little bit of material. And it's not much. I can kind of control where I'm removing the material from, and then I'm not doing the front or the back edges of it. So I got a little bit right here. I'll just go in and drag it back and just shave that a little bit off, and then that's going to allow me to. There's only it's pulling off a little bit of wood, not much. But then we go ahead and try fitting it back on as far as we can, and we're just do this. Shave that little bit off, and then same thing with the back side. The back side is more in contact with the inside of the hole of the head than the other one, the other side. And that's starting to look pretty good now. And I'll see how far I was able to get that onto almost the full amount. So just have a little bit yet, a little bit more there to take off. See, so far that's where we're we're getting close. And I may end up, actually we're pretty tight. Actually we're tight down here. There's a little bit of a gap right on this edge here. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's a little bit of a gap right there, and there's nothing I can do about that. There's going to be a gap there because this head and this handle, the handle's close to the size of the hole, but it is not perfect. I'll need to chew out or shave off just a little bit more. I want to get that down here as close as I can. I don't want it to be up there that far. I want, if I could pull that down another ½ inch, I'd be happy. And I still have to get some boiled linseed oil. I've removed all of the factory clear coat. That stuff is slippery. The factory clear coat, so slippery you can't get a good grip on the handle. And so I like I've got my plastic coated gloves on, but whenever you're grabbing the handle, normally, like if I have different gloves on or even barehanded, it gives you a better feeling. You have more of a purchase on the axe handle. So yeah, that feels really nice. And once I get this handle finished up and put the wedges in, the wedges will I'll cut this down and then I'll wedge the end. I cut this right here. Just take a saw. I cut it pretty close to flush. Might leave just a smidge out, and then just wedge it, and then that'll be good. It'll be, get this back into service again. So I went ahead and removed that material. And I'm just going to go ahead and mark this head. I'm going to mark the handle here. The head sits, and there's a hole here where the wood doesn't completely go, right in the front of the axe here, but that's it's the design of the head and the handle. It's not the same size, so there is a little bit of a gap, and I don't know if it's going to be too much of an issue, but so I'm going to draw this line out here. Just kind of like this. You see, just kind of drawing this handle out, or drawing the line out, just shaving off that little bit of wood right there. Now what I'm doing here is I'm on the slope. Right here's the slope of the handle, and I'm actually kind of pulling down it just gently. I'm not pulling out a bunch of material out of it. I want to focus mainly on where the line was. But I want to make a transition so it's not a hard stop there. So just kind of slope down or draw it down the slope a little bit. Focus more on where the line is. Just kind of smooth it out the rest of the way. The sides of the handle right here are going to come in contact with the inside of the axe head. So as soon as the wedge goes in there, it's going to spread it out so it'll contact the both sides and keep it nice and snug. So let's see, it's just right, I think. Got a little bit. I can hammer that down onto the handle right here. I can put the handle down, or the head down onto the handle just a little bit. Just so it's in contact on the sides and on the back. Drive in my wedges after. That's not bad. It's actually pretty nice. Look at that. That is a nice. It's a nice looking head or handle or head. It's a nice looking head there. You know, I quite like that. It's got some character to it. You know, and this is just all this is just the pitting from the rusting, sitting in an outbuilding. You know, that's all that was. It's just pitting. And got it cleaned up. Still have to run this in some. I'm going to put this in a bucket of vinegar. Let it sit. And I'm actually thinking about bluing the head with like rifle or gun bluing. Picking up a bottle of it. Trimmed, and then pound the wedges in. And it'll be nice and snug. Still has that gap there. Still has that gap right there, but you know, like I said, that was the shape of the handle, and it just doesn't go out as far as the original one did. All right, well, so today was pretty good. Today we got some of this axe restoration started, and getting there, we're making progress. The axe handle that we worked on today it's just a universal axe handle from you can pick them up at like the hardware store or Lowe's or Home Depot, and they're just a general basic axe handle, and that's what I picked up, and so it just needed some work done to fit into the axe head itself. There's some companies out there that make axes, and you can buy replacement handles for them, and the handles are specifically made for their heads, so it is just a quicker, easier replacement. It took a little time today to get the handle to actually fit into the head, and so we're to that point where we've got that accomplished. And there's two things that I forgot to show you. And one was removing the factory finish on the handle. It had a thick polyurethane coating on it. And so I went through and I just sanded it all off. And because I'm going to be treating the handle and the axe head with boiled linseed oil. So I want that linseed oil to soak into the wood, and it'll give the axe handle a different feeling compared to the plastic polyurethane coating. So I didn't show that portion of the sanding of the polyurethane to get it off of there. And then the other thing I didn't show was the initial condition of the axe head. It was completely covered in rust, very thick rust. And so I went through, once I got it back to the shop here, I went through with a wire brush, just quickly wire brushed it. And so that's the condition that you see it now in, is just it's had a quick wire brushing done to it. Still has pits and there's still rust, but we're going to be treating it where we'll do an acid bath. I talked about doing a possible bluing of the metal, like a gun barrel bluing, and I've opted not to do that. We're going to just go with protecting the entire axe with linseed oil, and that will be sufficient for what we're going to be doing.